Chapter 6. Strategies to promote your business using social media. Some of the most effective strategies are sometimes the simple stones. As they say, the devil does lie in the details. So, here are a few basic things you can do on social media to get your brand the attention it deserves, and the best news is that it won't cost you a penny. Create a publishing calendar. The first thing to do is create a message and the corresponding content. Once you have that, you need to figure out when and where you will be posting that content. That process can be streamlined by creating a message calendar. Without that, you will inevitably end up struggling to post content at the last minute. And more often than not, that is going to be low quality and lacking the intelligence it needs. The lack of time also compels you to repeat posts, and that's a massive bummer too. No one likes to see the same stuff on their timeline over and over again. And people have better memories than we think. But plan it a little in advance and you will come up with some terrific ideas that gain your social media accounts the momentum they need to reach the intended audience. When you create a content calendar, you avoid falling into these obvious traps. And while you are planning this content, you also have time to think about the metrics of what works when. Accordingly, you can create a goal and make a strategy by reverse engineering the process. Monitor that process, and there are some important lessons for every business. You need a calendar for each social media platform, and you must remember to add the right links, images and hashtags that suit each of those platforms. Speaking of metadata, let's talk about hashtags. Use the right hashtags. There was a time when you had to create hashtags and do this intuitively. But now there are many tools on the internet like Keyword Generator, which can give you keywords and hashtags that go perfectly well with your content. Use these tools efficiently to get your posts the required attention. Hashtags are extremely useful when it comes to promoting posts, whether it is for branded posts or special occasions like contests and giveaways. Adding them on platforms like Instagram adds a great deal of value and also reaches anyone who clicks on the same. You can also ask your audience to use the same hashtags when they are responding to your posts. This is a great way to spread word of mouth, especially when you are running a contest or a special offer. Share video content. There is no conversation about marketing a brand on social media without talking about video content. It is now quite clear that more and more people are consuming information through videos on their phones rather than reading stuff. It is a great tool to send your message while conveying tone and personality. Videos are also seen as a way to hold the attention of your audience. When social media users are scrolling down their feeds, visual cues are pretty much the only ones they are stopping for. That is why videos and images have the great power to grab their attention and possibly get you the engagement you need. Also, with a video, you have the opportunity to say a lot more than you can in a regular text post. You don't take too much space and the viewer does not have to actively read. Videos are somewhat passive and give the viewer the impression that all they have to do is sit back and watch the content unfold. But you do need to put your energy into creating narratives that capture their imagination and appeal to them at a personal level to get the response you were hoping for. Make use of cross-promotion effectively. You have a presence on social media platforms. What you need to do next is to promote those channels across the channels so that you can remind your followers to get your content everywhere. This is advantageous because you will be creating content that is specific for a platform. Just because an individual follows you on Facebook doesn't mean they can skip Twitter or Instagram. Don't hesitate to ask them to follow you on other platforms time and again. Remind them that the content and even perhaps the offers vary from one platform to the other. You can get a link from one platform with a call to action and ask them to follow the handle on the other. It is a very simple technique and takes very little effort and almost no planning too. It really doesn't get easier than this. You can also mention your handles in your bio on all your pages along with the URLs and encourage the visitors to follow you everywhere. Different content for different platforms. We mentioned earlier that the content on each platform must be unique. This is because each platform has its own algorithm, and the content on these platforms gets pushed to the subscriber base based on these calculations. That is because the likes of Facebook and Instagram are constantly analyzing viewer consumption patterns and changing the algorithm to present content in the way the majority is consuming it. When you adapt your content to meet the requirements of the platform, your efforts will be appreciated. Viewers will recognize that you are in sync with their needs and respond to them. For example, if you post entertaining content on Facebook, your chances of getting more shares increase. Give it a nice headline and try to form an emotional bond with your followers. This works. LinkedIn, on the other hand, is a more professional space. So your content must be tailored towards those who are looking for resourceful information. Then there is Twitter, where being on top of trends and being witty about it works. Make your audience curious, make the content catchy and interesting. On Instagram, it is primarily about how visually appealing you can be. Add a couple of great photos, make a really well-produced video, and you will see the results almost instantly.